Hello, and welcome to this webinar designed to provide an overview of the CTE program application and renewal process for CTE programs of study at the secondary level. Thank you for joining us. This webinar focuses on program application and renewals for CTE programs of study in law, public safety, and security, which includes focus areas in correction services, emergency fire management services, law enforcement services, legal services, and security and protective services. All CTE programs of study renew on a cycle, and the law and public safety and security career cluster is due for renewal this year. A statewide program of study framework has been developed for programs in this career cluster, along with the focus areas of emergency fire management services, correction services, and law enforcement services. We will talk about that statewide framework in a few moments. Part of Oregon's vision for building and improving strong CTE programs of study includes creating voluntary statewide program of study frameworks that will promote greater consistency and quality across the state, ensure more geographical equity, intentionally engage business and industry in the development of CTE programs across the state, and allow for resources to be more efficiently shared among educators. In the current phase, the statewide CTE program of study frameworks that have been developed provide updated knowledge and skill sets to inform CTE program development in each career cluster. The updated knowledge and skill sets include employability knowledge and skills, career cluster knowledge and skills, and focus area knowledge and skills. Within each career cluster, CTE programs of study may be offered at the cluster or the focus area level. Cluster level programs of study offer students in high schools a broad overview of careers in the field, along with the skills valued by all industry partners. Focus area programs of study offer students more occupationally specific training that may lead to industry-recognized certificates and degrees. As statewide programs of study evolve, future elements include statewide professional learning communities for teachers and instructors in each career cluster, readily identifiable community college program partners, shared course offerings and resource materials across the state, and a CTEIS system that will have much of this information pre-populated when programs are renewed or new program applications are submitted. For now, the CTEIS system requires manual input of all of this information. In Oregon, the CTE program of study is the cornerstone of CTE programming. In the Perkins 5 Act, the term program of study means a coordinated, non-duplicative sequence of academic and technical content at the secondary and post-secondary level. This coordinated sequence includes, I'm going to redo this slide, sorry. In Oregon, the CTE program of study is the cornerstone of CTE programming. In the Perkins 5 Act, the term program of study means a coordinated, non-duplicative sequence of academic and technical content at the secondary and post-secondary level. This content incorporates challenging state academic standards, addresses both academic and technical knowledge and skills, including employability skills, is aligned with the needs of industries in the economy of the state, region, or local area, progresses in specificity from a broad overview at the cluster level to occupation-specific instruction at the focus area level, has multiple entry and exit points, and culminates in the attainment of a recognized post-secondary credential and/or degree. All CTE programs of study must address the 6 elements of CTE programs of study as you see on this slide. By June 2024, all CTE programs of study in Oregon must include at least 3 credits offered in high school. Oregon adopted a CTE Program of Study quality rubric built around these 6 core elements. The rubric is a tool to help educators and administrators evaluate the health of their CTE programs. The rubric should be used during program renewal to create goals for program improvement and can be used more regularly for continuous program improvement.
This webinar is intended to accompany the recently released Guide to Using the Oregon CTE Program of Study Application document. It provides users with the knowledge and support to submit their CTE program applications. Whether for a startup, a new full program, or a renewal, all CTE program applications must be completed in the CTE Information System. School districts must work together with their local regional coordinators when they are ready to start the application process for any CTE program. These partners offer a wealth of knowledge and experience with the program of study development and application processes. The CTE program application described in this guidance and webinar is just a small part of the more extensive program design process intended to help Oregon high schools and community colleges support and prepare students with industry-based technical and academic knowledge and skills needed for success in secondary, post-secondary education, and high-wage, in-demand careers. All applications are accepted on a rolling basis and will be reviewed by ODE within 2 to 6 weeks of receiving them. All applications are due by June 30th to be approved for the 23-24 school year. Within the CTE Information System, there are 3 roles associated with tasks and applications. The roles included are for regional coordinators, lead teachers on programs, and local administrators who can help support course and program data that needs to be entered onto applications. And some tasks on the application apply to all of the roles. The regional coordinator has tasks that are specific to their role, as do the lead teachers and local administrators. Here you can see the different application types within the system and which role is associated with the specific actions on those applications. So for startup applications, we have it indicated with an S, for full, the F, and for renewal applications, an R. And then the actions that are required to complete or fill out the applications and which role should be completing that action or task. To initiate the application, it must be done by the regional coordinator. For the course matrix, updating and adding courses to the matrix, it must be done by the local admin or lead teachers. And both of those are part of all 3 application types. Selecting the program offerings or the additional components of a high quality program of study, like it's labeled on the application, are the work-based learning, industry recognized credential, and career and technical student organization fields, or CTSOs. And those fields can all be filled out by any of the 3 roles. You will see for work-based learning that the startup application does not ask for or require that field be filled out. But for both full and renewal applications, work-based learning is a required action or field to be filled out. The community college partnership field is required for full and renewal applications and must be filled out by the regional coordinator. Then the comment boxes for student support services, accountability and evaluation, and professional development can be filled out by any of the three roles. And those three boxes are available a little bit differently on the three application types, as you can see in the first column. And then the startup application only asks for startup costs to the program, for the program, and that can be filled out by any of those three roles. Regional coordinators, local admin, and lead teachers will all sign into the CTE Information System through the ODE district website login. Regional coordinators will select Start New Application, an option in the menu under POS Applications. A blank program of study application will open and is ready to be filled out. On that blank application, the regional coordinator will select whether this is a full application, a renewal application, or for a startup. As a reminder, if you are submitting a program of study at the cluster level, you'll select the general option in the focus area dropdown. The program framework dropdown is used to indicate whether a program will be part of the statewide model or continue as locally developed. And we talked about the benefits of a statewide program of study earlier in the presentation. And this is that field that as we evolve the system and model, much of the information will be pre-populated because that drop-down selection is the statewide framework, but we're not quite there yet. And so at this time, the information does still have to be entered manually. Regional coordinators and lead teachers or local admin both have the ability to select the appropriate options in the additional components of a high-quality program of study fields. The work-based learning is a required element of CTE programs of study. The CTSO, or Career and Technical Student Organization field, is a required element of CTE programs of study. If a CTSO is not part of a program, a student leadership opportunity should be identified in the Student Support Services comment box, and the locally developed Student Leadership Opportunities option should be selected in the drop-down of the CTSO field. The industry recognized credential field, it will be a drop-down list of all of the approved IRCs in Oregon. The current list of approved IRCs can be found in the application guide that we mentioned earlier. Please use that application guide IRC list to verify if the IRC that you are looking for has been approved already, if you're not finding it in the drop-down of the system. And if it seems like it's not on that approved list and you are hoping that at some point it could be, you'll want to make a request for it to be approved and added to the list. And please remember that on the startup applications, the work-based learning field will not be an option, but the others will be there on all application types. Adding a program to the community college grid is a requirement for full and renewal applications to be submitted to ODE. And the community college program can be added at any point in the application process prior to final submission to ODE. Regional coordinators will select any post-secondary programs the secondary program aligns with to the community college grid. Which community college program that's chosen depends on the relationship that has been developed to align course offerings and implement the program. Community college partners are members of your advisory committees and may be part of professional learning communities. The program title dropdown within the community college grid reflects the currently active offerings at the chosen institution. If an offering does not appear on the program dropdown, there is a contact within the application guide that may be able to help provide information on why a program title is not available. And I would recommend using that contact in the guide if you have questions. The 3 comment boxes, student support services, accountability and evaluation, and professional development comment, provide the components of a high quality program of study. And they are all 3 available on full applications. On renewal applications, you will only find the student support services comment box. And on startup applications, there will not be any of these 3 boxes. In the student support service box, you should provide information about the supports available to assist students in progressing through a CTE program of study. In the accountability and evaluation comment box, an explanation describing how each of the elements listed in the application guide will be addressed. And in the professional development comment box, there should be 2 long-term professional development goals covering the 4-year renewal cycle. Within the application guide, there are additional examples and explanation for each of those 3 comment boxes if needed. The course matrix form on the application needs to be filled out by local admin or lead teachers. The matrix serves 2 important functions, one programmatic and one data related. The lead teachers should utilize the matrix to show the depth or sequence of courses that progress from introductory to advanced content of their programs by adding the course information for the program of study to the matrix. The knowledge and skill statements listed down the side of the matrix form describe the learning experiences of students in CTE programs. In the statewide program of study frameworks, the knowledge and skill sets include cross-cutting employability knowledge and skills, cross-cutting career cluster knowledge and skills, and focus area knowledge and skills. The courses entered into the matrix also serve as validation for the CTE course collection that is submitted every spring and informs the state and federal reporting done by ODE. All CTE programs of study are required to provide students with the full range of knowledge and skill statements over the course of the high school and community college program. The knowledge and skill statements are required to be taught. However, the checkboxes that crosswalk the knowledge and skill statements on the matrix to the courses on the matrix are not required fields in the CTE information system.
As we conclude today's webinar, I would like to draw your attention to some resources that may be useful as you begin your program application or renewal process. First is the Guide for Secondary CTE Program Application and Renewals. This comprehensive resource provides complete information for submitting applications and renewals in the CTE Information System. Second is the list of CTE regional coordinators across the state. These colleagues are an integral part of the application process and are a valuable resource in the development of CTE programming. Third is a link to the CTE Information System where you will input applications. And fourth is the statewide CTE Law, Public Safety, and Security Framework Resource Guide. This document provides an overview of the statewide programs of study development process and updated knowledge and skill statements. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate all you do to support students and CTE programs of study, and we wish you the very best as you embark on the program application and renewal process. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions.